start with that.
Rolling.
Okay, my name is Samara. I'm 11 years old and I'm from Wulagi Primary School.
And do you want to tell me a bit about your project, Samara?
Well, my Amy's plan was to make the dam a bit deeper because right now the dam has a lot of surface area and that means a lot of evaporation because each year the dam has a lot of water evaporating. It's roughly 66.33333% of our water evaporates, and that's more than 50%, which is pretty big. And so that we sort of had an idea that would kill two birds with one stone. So we also can't get any water from the top or the bottom of the dam because it has too much debris and just bacteria on it. So we can only get it from the middle, and the deepest point in Darwin River Dam right now is 20 metres, which isn't too deep. And so by making it deeper, we'd have more space in the middle, which means that we can get more water from the middle.
And how would you make it deeper? Did you think about that? Did you talk about that?
Well, the teachers sort of told us just to think about the idea and that engineers can help us sort out how we would actually achieve to make our idea happen.
That's great. And just one more question. What would be your best advice for people in Darwin on saving water?
Well,
so why don't you start with my best advice, or...
Yeah. Well, my best advice would probably be think about it. If you save water, you save money.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Did you practice this at home?
No.
Can you do that once to camera as well? That was a great line.
Yeah. My best advice to save water in Darwin.
My best advice to save water in Darwin is think about it. If you save water, you save money.
Amazing, perfect. Can we get it one time to Laurel as well?
Well, my best advice is if you think about it, if you save water, then you save money.
Rolling, just straight to Laurel.
Okay, Shani, do you want to tell me your name and how long you've lived in Darwin and your role?
I am Shani Bryson. I've lived in Darwin for 30 odd years, so I'm a true Territorian. And I am a parent of a Wulagi primary school student.
And do you want to tell me what sorts of things your daughter would come home and tell you about during That's My Water this term?
Yeah, we talked a lot about water conservation. She went to visit the Darwin River Reservoir and came home with quite a lot of facts and figures about the water that's used there, how much evaporation occurs in Darwin with the water supply, which I was quite stunned at, and also just the levels of bacteria that are in the water, and the usable amount of water is actually quite small when you look at the grand scheme of things. So,
And what sort of things did you think about when she came home with these facts and figures about water use in Darwin?
Well, I definitely look at my own water bill and see that my water usage is above the regional average, and that made me and also above the Darwin average. So that actually made me quite conscious of the fact that we as a family of 8 are using a significant amount of water. Looking at things like using less water in the garden, being quicker with our showers. We actually time our showers now. Especially the older teenage boys have a tendency to enjoy the hot water. We looked at leaking taps, fixing our toilet systems so that it wasn't running all the time. So yeah, just little things like that. Yeah.
And would you say you've reduced water use, or you've cut down on water use since Samara's been doing this project?
I feel that definitely over the last 2 months we've reduced...
Sorry, could you just start that sentence again? I feel. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, okay. No worries. I feel that over the last 2 months we've definitely reduced our water usage. Probably the main focus has been the garden. In the dry season, the amount of water that you've got to keep up to the garden is huge. And what I've decided is that, you know, come the wet season, grass always regenerates. So I've let the grass go a bit, and I've tended to be a lot more selective with the plants that I water now. Let them go longer in between waterings to try and make them more drought resistant. So they're definitely the things that I've done to reduce our water usage at home.
Rolling.
So do you want to tell me your name and where you're from?
Yep, Cameron Carmichael, a 5/6 teacher at Wulagi Primary School.
And can you tell me about the Living Water Smart program and how you got involved for your classroom.
Yeah, well, our journey started 12 months ago, where just as teachers we came up with the idea about water and the environment for one of our inquiries, and we called it, "Is water a privilege or a right?" And we tried to teach that ourselves, and the kids got some information out of it, but part of the way through that we found out about the Living Water Smart program through Joel Spry, and we've spent the last 10 months waiting for the opportunity to teach that with the kids. And
for you as a teacher, what was presented to you as the resources? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, the teacher guide that comes with it is probably the easiest document I've ever had to use. It comes, we've all in the Northern Territory been looking at the inquiry process. Well, the guide's already broken down into the inquiry process, starting with the tuning in and then the finding out, and just working through that cycle that we expect the kids to work through. It's linked through multiple areas of the Australian curriculum, and then it's broken up into section 1, here's some ideas, and it's very structured if you want to teach it in a structured way, but it also provides a lot of flexibility for whichever way the kids want to run with it, which is really important.
And do you want to tell me a bit about its specialness in terms of dealing with a local real world problem instead of just being in the classroom?
Yeah.
You were telling me before
Yeah.
about hearing it from you.
Yep, absolutely. There's the fact that we're looking at, and the kids got to see firsthand where there were some issues in regards to water in Darwin, the lackadaisical attitude that comes with, oh, we've got lots of rain, we can water the garden whenever we want. The surveys that the students did at the start of the year, at the start of the unit, showed that evidence. There was not a care about, oh, we don't need to save water, we don't need to worry about those things. And when as a classroom teacher, when you teach something, yes, the kids might learn, but when they're hearing the same voice over and over again, it can become a bit of a bounce off the concrete wall. But with the Living Water Smart program, and you have your guest speakers coming in, you have the experts from your program doing water walks, you have experts from Department of Lands and Planning and the Environment, and talking about groundwater, talking about the Bureau of Meteorology, going out to Darwin River Dam. They just seem to take that information in differently. When you have an expert in their field explaining something to students, and especially there were so many moments where that expert's gone, and the kids, the enthusiasm, the conversation, the information that they gained that they wanted to share was amazing.
And last question, is that vacuum cleaner, that's okay?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Just a bit about the kids' reaction and the ideas they came up with and how inspired and were you surprised, things like that.
Yeah.
Rolling?
Rolling.
I was amazed in the end product. The process is always interesting in that to watch, but once everything starts to come together and their research that they put together, and how am I going to present it, or what is my idea? Some of the ideas that the kids came up with were so far left of centre of where I thought they would go, but when they sit there and they can explain it and they can understand, and here's the science behind it, and here's what my thought process is, and this is what I want people to understand and achieve. It's just amazing to see that. They're not only learning about the problems with the community, they're thinking way outside the box. They're thinking way outside where I thought they would have gone with it, to then produce what we've seen, and their final products are just amazing.
And actually, while we've got no vacuum, we might just do that bit about the, again, just about taking the teaching outside the classroom and hearing. Do you mind if we do
that's
that
fine.
again? And
I
not
can't
just
guarantee it's going to be.
No.
What did I say? It's like what you said before. Is just do that speech you did. I can't remember what it was.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
All right, when you're ready.
Yeah, so there is such a difference between the students listening to their classroom teacher give them information, as opposed to this program which brings in experts in their field, Bureau of Meteorology, the Department of Environment and Planning with the groundwater, and then the guys from Living Water Smart, visiting the dam and speaking to the guys out there. We could have possibly given them some information about each of those topics, but there's no way those kids would have got an understanding or even just the enthusiasm of speaking with an expert in their field. When to come back after those visits and after getting out of the classroom and on the excursion or walking around the school and finding leaks, the enthusiasm that the students displayed, the want to share the information that they now know that they didn't know before, and their ideas and their plans of we could do this, we could do this. It's really infectious and really just you see it grows amongst the classroom, and it makes our job easier really. Like to cut it all down is, we can teach a program, but when you have the access to the expertise that comes with this program, you can't compare.
Amazing.
It's a great wrap
All right,
too.
cool.
Thank you so much.
It's perfect.
Cameron.
As I said right at the start,